We do not. And we have two board vacancies right now. So we would welcome recommendations or nominations. We'd love to have somebody from Gladstone on the board. We do not have that today. Alan has committed, I'll just say, Alan has committed to still represent Gladstone and be a voice for us, but we don't have someone serving on the board.
Scott, walk us through the process. Someone calls or they get referred to you, and then I know you touched briefly on then you all make a home visit. And so certain parameters, I mean, obviously some of the needs that you see are probably far in excess of the funds that you can allocate to that particular project. So how does that work?
Yeah, so let me go back. I'll try and answer. If I don't answer everything you need, just let me know. When we do that intake, I should have specified earlier, but we only work with homeowners, so we don't work with renters. So they have to prove that they own their home. That's one thing. And then we require proof of income as well, because some of our funders, just have requirements on that. So we know those two things before we begin. At that point, then we do this home visit. We go through our checklist and we determine what's realistic that we can accomplish, what the home needs. And you're right, many times it might exceed what we even were able to do. But as you saw on that one slide here, sometimes we can leverage, we can use a couple different funding resources to go in to serve one client. That helps us get over a threshold. And then we have undesignated funds in our organization that at times we choose to use as well. If we just can't walk away from this project, we still need to get this work done. Thankfully, we're in a position right now financially that we can do that. That hasn't always been the case. Sometimes we have to make hard decisions when we can't. But to date, there's no, I think I can say this safely right now. I mean, there's not a repair that needs to be we're not able to take care of today. Again, when I say that, I want to be clear. Again, we're not remodeling someone's home. We're just trying to make sure it's safe and livable for the folks. So we make the necessary repairs to make that happen. And today we are able to do that. Again, sometimes it takes us a little longer than we'd like. We have to scramble a bit to pull the pieces together to make that happen. But again, we're going to make sure that anything on the. Sometimes what we do is when we work through that checklist, we might start with just the safety needs to make sure we make the home safe immediately, and then we'll come back and do some other repairs later. And we've done a couple of those recently where just even getting in and out of the home is unsafe for our neighbors. So we're making those corrections now, and then like we're waiting for rebuilding day this fall, or maybe we're going to paint the home or do something like that. So sometimes we'll do that. Is that helpful?
Very simple. Do you have a waiting list?
We do have a waiting list set right now. I didn't check it before I came today, but it's around 50 people right now. Wow.
And what's the agency's budget?
About 1,100,000 this year.
Other questions for Scott?
Good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again, thank you all very much for your partnership with us.
We appreciate partnership with you.
I'm happy to leave. I got this wrote down. My cards are in here, so if you need me at any time, and if you have a recommendation
Leave
for
them with
a board
them.
member, let me know that too. Okay.
And with Chris there.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, and for our second study session item tonight, I'm going to have Justin Murphy introduce Mary Newman and Caitlin Guffey. So he can talk about AJ and Linden Square programming this year.
Would it be helpful if we dim the lights in the room so we can see the screen a little better?
That's one.
We're one or two more.
There we go.
Way better.
Is that better? Good.
Way better. Thank
All right. Welcome to the mood lighting, Mayor and members of the council.
Blinking.
Well, excited I can't believe it's already been, we're starting a new season here, so we're excited for summer to come. And to start with familiar face, Mary Newman, who is in her third season overseeing Atkins Johnson. So that's very exciting to us. We have her come up and do her presentation. And then I'll introduce Caitlin, who's a very new, brand new face to all of us here. So that'll be exciting. But Mary, come on up. And
Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you all again.
Welcome, Mary.
So before I get started telling you all about this season, I want to kind of review 2023 really quickly with you all. To start off with, I do want to let you all know that we did break our attendance record for the second year in a row, which was very exciting for me at least, with 11,852 people, up from 11,585 the previous year. Last year was also the 10-year anniversary celebration for the barn. We did have a celebration event that opening weekend, as well as smaller celebration throughout the year, including some interpretive spaces inside of the museum, celebrations with the Friends membership, and a few more things like social media postings and a competition, commemorative space in the bookmark, that sort of thing. It was also the first year for the UMKC partnership for interns. We had two college-age interns out of the farm last year. If you had a chance to meet them. One of those students is planning to go on and go into the museum field. Another one is planning a career as a lawyer. Last year was also really big for the Big Shoal Farm Field Festivals. If you had a chance to come out and see those. The Sunflower Festival was in its second year. And for that second year, it had over double the attendance of the first year, with over 1,000 people in the spot in the local news. And it was the introduction of the Big Shoal Farm Pumpkin Field Festival as well. And then I also want to highlight our museum volunteers, which are always amazing. The last year, 4 of them in particular were honored with local awards. So special thanks, as always, to all of them in particular. Eugene Sooner, Jenny Kyle, as well as Mary Brockman and Judy Johnson all received awards for their volunteer work with the museum. So here you can see highlighted a little more clearly the overall attendance in general that the museums have throughout the years. I do want to highlight in particular the number at the bottom, which would be the overall through that 10-year period, 48,830, as well as the last two numbers that I mentioned up top from the previous 2 record years. So getting into the 2024 season, this calendar is going to look a little bit more familiar to you guys, but just to highlight the kind of few changes that we do have on there. A Big Shoal Vintage Auto Show on June 15th. So we will be reintroducing car shows back at the museum. It's got a new name because we're working with a new partner to make this happen. The Antiques Automobile Society of America, I believe is their name, has been partnering with us. So we're going to have a brand new auto show with up to 60 vintage cars on the lawn that weekend. I'm pretty excited to get that going. It's in partnership with the Friends and that Auto Society. We'll also have Mad Science Day camps, which are new and out on the farm this year. And the Atkins Johnson Sunflower Run Walk will be the new name for the restoration run. This name change is at the suggestion of the run company. As the feedback we can get from our runners is what really brings people back year after year is the scenic route, as well as the fact that it's kind of a challenging course. And so highlighting the name based on that route really is hearing from marketability. So here, highlighted a little bit more specifically, is the Friends event calendar for the season. You can see several of their events throughout the year, including their 2 private events, the Friends annual meeting, as well as their Christmas party. And of course, the Big Shoal Farm, which I know several of you are looking forward to, because I've already been getting questions about when the corn's going to be ready. So we're gearing up for the 5th season with the Big Shoal Farm. Eugene has already been out there working on that fence, so it is getting ready. Corn harvest will be from July to August. Sunflowers will pick up in August. Pumpkins are from September to mid-October. And we will be doing the field festivals again, the 3rd year for the sunflowers and the 2nd year for the pumpkins. Each crop had their best respective day of the season by a pretty large margin on those field festivals. So we're really excited to keep those going and get more people out into the farm. And they also were really a huge boost for the museum itself. So we're really excited to see that feedback loop is really working. And speaking of the museum, the exhibit schedule comes up next. We are planning to open with an exhibit called Beauty and Modern Revolution. This will focus on the cosmetics and beauty industry during the Industrial Revolution. There was huge changes in this industry through each phase, and this exhibit will track those changes. that happened due to lifestyle, happened due to changes in available ingredients, as well as just general changes in marketing and changes in actual production methods. So we'll go into all of those things and more. Next, we have Immigration and American Story, which is about during the month of July. This exhibit is a traveling exhibit from the Gilder Learning Institute, and it tells a story about how immigration has shaped the United States history and identity, as well as some of the many countries that have helped this identity. In the fall, we will have a Boston Cooking School Cookbook, the exhibit. The Boston Cooking School Cookbook is the first mass-produced cookbook in the United States, and this exhibit will tell the story of this cookbook, how it started the cookbook movement, highlight some of the recipes and some of the ingredients that came out of this cookbook and were marketed in the cookbook, as well as some of the popular ones that we all know and love today that started from this trend. And of course, the annual holiday toys that will close out the season throughout the month of November. So does anybody have any questions for me?
Questions for Mary?
I just have a comment. Mary, I just want to say thank you. You've done such a great job with the museum. Obviously, that shows with the number of people that are coming out to all the activities. I know that staff over the years have worked very hard, and it is obviously a council goal that we make the farm more relevant in our community. And I think you've done a fantastic job, and I just want to thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Shanna. It's wonderful to hear.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary, does Eugene get a stipend for the work that he does out there with sunflowers, the corn and the pumpkins?
No, he does not.
I say to my colleagues here, that probably would be a very good suggestion. Consider looking to the future. This may be Eugene's last year. It would be nice to get something in place for him and then whoever takes his place.
It's definitely something to consider.
Other questions, comments? Mary, thank you. Really good job. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Okay, I'm going to introduce our next one. I don't want to refer to her as a rock star, but I'm pretty excited here. So many of you know that I'm in have a little side project called Band, right?
Yes.
And this individual actually I met a year ago playing the Parkville Brew Fest, which is a very large festival of 80 breweries. And she was actually the organizer of that and worked for Main Street Parkville as well as Creekside New Development. And I had the opportunity to be on the other side of the fence in the band and play and watch her organize the events. And been welcomed to the sites by her and saw what she did. And so out of the blue, she texted me one night and said, I see this opening as a Linden Square Special Events Coordinator. What's that about? And pretty quickly said, I know one thing, you should probably interview for it. And so starting her second week, she hasn't been her full 2 weeks yet. So cut her some slack. She's jumping in. We're right into the fire. Her name's Caitlin Guffey. I want to welcome her up, and we're excited to have her aboard. And we think she is going to do wonders for Linden Square Kids. So, Caitlin, come on up.
We're pretty scary, Kaylin.
Yeah, we are.
Hello, Mayor. Hello, council. I'm Kaylin. Justin did a great introduction for me. So I am so excited to be with Gladstone. I came from Parkville. So I'm very much a Northland local. I know the Northland like the back of my hand. So I'm very excited to be with you guys and a part of this team and taking Linden Square on this year. So good job. There we go. All righty. So you guys are gonna see, as Justin said, I have been here. Wednesday will be 2 weeks. So I'm very, very new to this position, but I am very excited. Planning, we started first day, head in, ready to go. So the first thing, so we are gonna be doing the 2024 Sounds on the Square. That will start June 1st with a one-day food art drink festival. So the third Saturdays typically is going to be a larger crowd. And so we have bigger bands, a little more well-known bands around the Kansas City area that will be attending those. And then on the last Friday of each month, there'll be a country band, which tends to bring a good amount of traffic. Just listening to what people liked and what they wanted to see. So there'll be a country band closing out each month for us. The 2024 festivals, they will kind of piggyback with Sounds on the Square. So Food, Art, Drink, Kids Fest, and Whiskey Fest will be the 3 festivals that we will have at London Square this year. So this is going to be the 8th year for Food, Art, Drink. In 2023, over 800 people attended this event, enjoying many local artists, food trucks, and the drink options. This year, based off of feedback and kind of community response, it has been reduced to a 1-day festival, making it a full day festival versus the 2 shorter time frames. This gives vendors more hours of displaying their product and providing a stage of all-day entertainment. So entertainment starting at noon and then wrapping up about 9 p.m. And then you can see the 4 bands that we have on there, which are Cherry Bomb is very well known around Kansas City. So we will be doing 2 movies on the square. We will, so June and July, we'll be doing a sock hop on the square with Grease. I'm super excited to pair with the 55 plus program here at the community center and really making that something very exciting. So it'll be June 22nd, and then Kung Fu Panda is actually in theaters right now. So it's going to be fresh and right out of DVD. We're probably going to be getting it the week it goes on TV. It's going to be here in Gladstone. Trivia is also another event we will be bringing to Linden Square. Instead of doing 1, we are going to be doing 2 this year. So we'll be doing the best of 2000s pop culture. And then Harry Potter's birthday is actually on July 31st. So we will be celebrating the empire that Harry Potter is and doing trivia. They will have teams, and I'm expecting the Harry Potter one to be quite a success. Not many people know that that's Harry Potter's birthday. People love Harry Potter. Then we have Kids Fest in the Cutie Pie Try. That will start with a mini triathlon for ages 3 to 5, followed by Kids Fest. And that will have vendors, games, a DJ, and then performances on Linden Square. And that night is actually when we're doing Kung Fu Panda. So it's really going to be a full day about the kiddos and hopefully have them an all-day event in Linden Square. And then Fiesta on the Square, September 7th, as a day to celebrate Hispanic culture at Linden Square. North End Christmas Store will be providing the taco bar. Again, there was over 400 guests in attendance in 2023. Invitations will be extended to vendors to assist in making the festival more authentic. So when you think of Fiesta on the Square, really getting that full experience. Yeah, by popular demand, you know what's coming. October 12th will be Whiskey Fest. In 2023, the number of vendors grew, so more than 30 distilleries, 4 food trucks. With the success of this event and the partnership with Bubbles, we hope to increase the number of local vendors, distilleries, and since this event has begun, it has seen consistent growth. So as Justin said, we met at Brewfest, and so I'm very comfortable with growing those big festivals. Parkville's started very little and had 80 breweries last year. So it started with 8, and then over the time, there's now 80 that attend. So I'm very excited to get my hands on Whiskey Fest and really work with Brian and the Parks Department to really make this event a big success. And then the mayor's Christmas tree lighting is December 3rd. I know that there will be a new mayor coming. So I am excited to be working with the new mayor as I get comfortable in my position and making this another event at Linden. That is all the events and programming that I have planned for Linden Square this year. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Who has questions for Caleb?
As a wine drinker, Whiskey Fest 2 years ago changed my life forever.
Change your life. I'd love to hear it. All right. For the good.
Tennessee talk. My wife, no.
We welcome you. And
Thank
we're excited about your excitement.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Thank you. I'm excited. So like we're in the, we're going to dive right into event season. So we're
Good.
We love that.
jumping right in.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. I look forward to getting to know you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kaylin.
Thank you.
So soon after, I think we have, our present, we do have a quorum. And I will ask you to rise for the VFW to present the colors.
Honor guard. Attention. Forward, march. There, colors are present. Post the color. Present arms. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
order arms.
I'd like to thank our friends at VFW Post 906, Carla Gleaton, Gordon Harris, Jim Zimmerman, and Jim Cox for presenting the colors this evening. Item number 4 on our agenda is the approval of the agenda. Is there anyone who wishes to make a change in the agenda? Not, it will stand as presented. Item number 5 is the approval of the March 11th, 2024 closed city council meeting minutes.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Mallon.
I move to approve the minutes from the March 11th, 2024 closed city council meeting.
Say,
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the closed city council meeting of March 11, 2024. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. Item number 6 is the approval of the March 11, 2024 regular city council meeting minutes.
Mayor Moore,
Councilman Mallon.
I move to approve the minutes from the March 11th, 2024 regular city council meeting.
say,
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of March 11, 2024. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. We have 3 proclamations tonight. We will start with the first one, which will be recognizing Arbor Day. I think Director Murphy, that's you. So this is the proclamation for Arbor Day. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton first proposed that a special commemorative day be officially established for the planting of trees. And in 1970, the United States Congress set aside a special day to acknowledge mankind's responsibility to the natural environment. Whereas these holidays, now designated as Arbor Day and Earth Day, are observed nationally on an annual basis during the month of April. And whereas trees and the natural environment serve to assist in the moderation of temperature, help provide the clean air we breathe, produce oxygen and habitat for wildlife, and provide a source of joy, beauty, and spiritual renewal for the community. Whereas trees and proper care for our Gladstone environment serve to increase property values, enhance the vitality of business areas, and serve to beautify our surroundings. Now therefore I, Jean B. Moore, Mayor of the City of Gladstone, Missouri, on behalf of the members of the Gladstone City Council, encourage our citizens to support efforts that focus upon environmental betterment and the planting of trees, and do hereby proclaim Friday, April 5, 2024 as Arbor Day, in Gladstone, Missouri, and urge all citizens to participate in recognition of city service. So tell us a little bit about Arbor Day.
So April 5th, join the mayor for her last hurrah, so to speak, there, I think. She's smiling. That is April 5th at Loon Square, 10 a.m. and Oak Hill Baseball will join us, and we'll do a little performance or something on the stage at Loon Square. And then if you haven't noticed, we've lost a couple trees in the median on 70th Street, right there south of Loon Square. And so we'll plant a couple trees in the median there and call it all good. Be a fun, and it's gonna be warm.
Excellent. We've had some that weren't, and the kids never fail to perform. So
Right.
it will be
It'll be fun.
it will be a great thing.
Thank you.
Okay, our second proclamation is for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Okay.
Good, Ernie.
I'm good. So I'll read the proclamation. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. And whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Gladstone Emergency Communications Center. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them with information and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunicators of the city of Gladstone have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now therefore I, Jean B. Moore, Mayor of the City of Gladstone, Missouri, on behalf of the members of the Gladstone City Council and the citizens of the City of Gladstone, do hereby proclaim the week of April 14 through 20, 2024 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of Gladstone in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our city and citizens safe. So I know that just recently, and Rob, I'll have you talk about this, that we recently had one of our dispatchers get a really big award.
That's right. So each year, the state of Missouri recognizes officers and dispatchers that have been involved in the CIT or critical incident trauma training and how they deal with somebody that's going through crisis. So our dispatcher, Savannah Melton, received that award through the state of Missouri. And unfortunately, the award ceremony is postponed. We're looking forward to celebrating her.
So how's the new public safety dispatch?
Wonderful. Yeah, so we recently in the last year co-located Liberty, Clay County, and Gladstone's dispatch centers, and getting 3 entities to agree on furniture and design and everything was a fun process, but they really have come together quite well. It's gone a lot smoother than anybody really could anticipate. So we're happy to have the partners there with us.
We appreciate the good work that they all do.
We appreciate everybody's support from the council and the city leadership. So,
The only thing I have to say is, a couple things. One, we're one of the few communication centers in the metro that's fully staffed right at this moment. And there's a reason for that. It's the support of the elected officials, the professional staff at City Hall and the police department, and especially Rob. He does an incredible job. But, the men and women down there dispatching truly are like the first responders. Somebody's having like the worst day of their life and they call 911 and there's just this voice on the other end of the line. And they just do an incredible job, whether it's for, fires or ambulance, medical emergencies, police, whatever. We just couldn't be prouder. That's it.
We couldn't be more proud of you all in this work that you did here. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, the last information is it's for National Animal Control Association Week. And we have Heather Smith and Madison Dillon. And an interloper that you brought. All right.
Don't let it treat you like that.
Whereas the National Animal Control Association has designated the second week of April each year as Animal Control Officer Appreciation Week. And whereas the various state, federal, and local government officials throughout the country take the time to recognize, thank, and commend all animal control officers for the dedicated service they provide to the citizens. And whereas the city of Gladstone, Missouri would like to express its sincere thanks and appreciation for the outstanding service the Gladstone Animal Control officers in the police department provide on a daily basis to citizens of the city. And whereas the Gladstone City Council recognizes and commends the Gladstone Animal Control officers for the many dedicated and long hours of service they perform in serving this community, and for fulfilling the Gladstone Animal Control Unit's commitment to providing the highest and most efficient level of customer service. Now therefore I, Jean B. Moore, Mayor of the City of Gladstone, Missouri, on behalf of the members of the Gladstone City Council and the citizens of the City of Gladstone, do hereby proclaim the week of April 14 through 20, 2024 as Gladstone Animal Control Officer Appreciation Week in the City of Gladstone, and encourage all citizens to express their sincere appreciation of the service and dedication of our animal control officers. Very welcome.
So we run on the call to take care of the shelter. Last year, we took in about 651 animals and ran over 950 calls. So just two of us and our captain was going. So we had 369 rats in the building.
Yeah.
We think
Yes.
those numbers are
Yeah.
amazing.
Just have not-
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Great job.
We'll move to item number 10, which is communications from the audience. This is the time during every council meeting that we invite members of the public to come before the council to express their concerns or ideas on a matter that's not on our agenda. So is there anyone in the audience who wishes to come before the council? Melissa?
Hello, good evening. I brought with me some photos of the deterioration of my street, and it's affecting 2 homes. And I took pictures because I've addressed it through the Public Works Department and hasn't gotten response. And I have email correspondence of talking with Tim, and Tim saying that it would be on the 2000. He sent me an email saying it would be the emails March 16th, 2023, stating that it would be taken care of for the summer of 2023. Since that time, the street has deteriorated more, and now I'm at I am 1 foot below the street level, and I have this in pictures to show you.
What street?
It's Purcell. And it is just, there is just an area between the 2 homes, and there's lug nuts that are getting lost in it. If you sit there and are driving, like when you're driving, you have to drive around it to get down the road. So it's it's a safety concern, but it's also a concern for me to get into my house. I'm no longer able to just drive into my driveway. I have to stop, let people drive past me, and then drive around to get into my driveway. But the street level is over 12 inches below the street surface. And I sit there and met a gentleman from the Public Works Department named Justin, and he was at a convenience store, but he had on City of Gladstone outfit, and I was like, City of Gladstone. So anyhow, I talked with him, and he came out on January 30th and took pictures of the street this year. This is 2024. I again saw him a couple weeks later at that same convenience store, and he's like, "Oh, Melissa," and I'm like, "Where are we at?" So that was in February. So he took additional pictures, and he took those to Tim. With that being said, I've not received anything from Tim. So then the waterman was on the street, and so I stopped the waterman and I asked him, "Could you please take a look at the seriousness of the safetyness of my street and concern for people walking, concern for people driving, concern for the elderly that walk on the street, the children that play, and for me trying to visit my driveway, which is my concern, but one of the concerns." And so the waterman told me that Tim's boss is Steve Corey. So I called Steve Corey and left him, I hope I'm getting the name right. So I called and left him a message stating my name and my address, and that I've been trying to address this issue since the beginning of the spring of 2023. This street has lowered and keeps lowering, and I know that there must be some kind of water issue going on below the street. I don't know. But I do know that we're losing the street between these two houses, and it's a safety concern, and I actually don't know how there hasn't been something that hasn't arisen from it. When you're driving, if any of, I hope all of you will go look at it, you'll see the seriousness of it, and please take a look at my photos. So I should.
Thank you, Melissa. Could you leave those with the city clerk? Mr. Nevergall, the Director of Public Works, is in the audience this evening.
Okay.
Mr. Nevergall, would you be able to speak with Melissa after? Okay, thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you for coming.
Just for a second.
Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to come before the city council this evening? Seeing no one, we will move to communications from the city council. We'll start with Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. I have 3 or 4 things, but I won't talk about one. I want to thank Chris Williams for his presentation to the Planning Commission last week, specifically for very diplomatically explaining to the Planning Commission how sometimes we don't concur with the recommendation because there's other information that may come to us between the Planning Commission and the City Council meeting. So that did not go lost on us. So thank you for that. That's all really.
That's not,
No, we're good.
not 2 or 3 things.
No, we're good.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Mallow,
Mayor, no comments this evening.
thank you. Councilman Garnos.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to mention that there's a municipal election coming up on April 2nd and hope everybody takes the opportunity to vote for the right people. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Spallo.
Well, Councilman Smith stole my thunder. I was going to also thank Chris for the presentation. You did a great job. I learned a lot during that presentation, so thank you. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right. Well, last week I did have the opportunity to be a participant in the candidate forum that was held in this building for the 4 candidates who are running for city council. And I just want to express my deepest thanks to Brian Edinger, the Oak Park teacher, and Jim Oldebecken and the Oak Park students. They did a really great job. And I know that it was many hours of prep and debate to try to get to the questions that were asked, but they did a really great job. So I wanted to express my thanks in public to them. Mr. City Manager, it's now your turn.
Mayor, I have 2 items. I just want to reiterate, we talked about it before during the proclamation. The Arbor Day celebration is taking place on Friday, April 5th at Linden Square. We're going to celebrate Gladstone's recognition as a tree city, and they'll be planting a tree. And I want to thank Director Murphy and his staff for hosting us at our council meetings for the last few months. But I am extremely happy to say that this will be the last time we intrude on him, as I think that the next council meeting will be back in the newly remodeled City Hall. So we're all excited for that. Furniture was delivered today. It's gonna take them a couple of weeks to get things set up, but I think we're about ready to come back home. So happy for that.
We're holding you to that, you know
I'm telling
that. Thank you. Item number 13 is the consent agenda. Madam Clerk, will you please explain and read the consent agenda?
The consent agenda allows the city council to consider and approve routine items of business without discussion. Any member of the city council, the city staff, or the public may request removal of any item from the consent agenda and request that it be considered under the regular agenda if discussion or debate of the item is desired. Items not removed from the consent agenda will stand approved upon motion by any council member, second unanimous vote to approve the consent agenda as previously modified. Consent agenda, Big Shoal, consider special event permits, Big Shoal Heritage Area Farm, Atkins Johnson Farm, April 1, 2024 through November 30, 2024. Dynamic Disc KCMO LLC will be sponsoring 3 disc golf tournaments. Hobbyville Park, Sunday, April 14th, May 26th, and July 27, 2024, from 7 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. Good Shepherd GS Disc Golf will be hosting 5 Professional Disc Golf Association PDGA Flex Start tournaments. Hobbyville Park, Sunday, May 5th, Thursday, July 4, 2024, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, September 8, 2024, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, October 5 and 6, and Sunday, December 8, 2024, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Gladstone Summertime Blues Fest, Linden Square, Friday, May 17, 2024, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. And Saturday, May 18, 2024, 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. Resolution R-24-17, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a First Amendment to a commercial lease agreement between the city of Gladstone, Missouri as sublessor and Barnes Healthcare as sublessee to operate an office for a physician's medical director group at 7001 North Cherry, suite number 202, Gladstone, Missouri 64118. Consider financial report for 8 months ending February 29, 2024.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes an item removed from the consent agenda for discussion? Seeing none, anyone on the council? Staff? I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Yes, Councilman Smith.
Consent agenda is removed.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda is approved. We'll move to the regular agenda. Item number 14 is the first reading of bill number 24-12. An ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the city of Gladstone, Missouri and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide Iris public transportation services from April 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025.
Mayor Moore,
Mayor Pro Tem Spallo.
I move to place bill number 24-12 on its first reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to place bill number 24-12 on its first reading. Is there any discussion? All in favor of placing bill number 24-12 on its first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
First reading bill number 24-12, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the city of Gladstone, Missouri and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide Iris public transportation services from April 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025.
Mayor Moore,
Mayor Pro Tem Spallo.
I move to accept the first reading of bill number 24-12, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the first reading of bill number 24-12, waive the rule, and place the bill on its second and final reading. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of placing bill number 24-12 on its second reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Madam Clerk, please read the bill.
Second reading bill number 24-12, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement between the city of Gladstone, Missouri and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority to provide Iris Public Transportation Services from April 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025.
Mayor Moore.
Mayor Pro Tem Swallow.
I move to accept the second and final reading of Bill number 24-12 and enact it as ordinance number 4.667.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the second reading of Bill number 24-12 and enact the bill as ordinance number 4.667. Is there any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Smith,
Aye.
Councilman Mound,
Aye.
Councilman Garnet,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Swallow,
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. Bill number 24-12 stands enacted as ordinance number 4.667. Is there other business to be brought before the council this evening? If not, stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.